Hey guys, so today I was at this point of doing my makeup and I thought I would film what I'm gonna do beyond this point because I was looking and I was like, you know, what I do after this just makes such a big difference. Like I've already got my foundation, like everything's all done and everything, but just bronzer and blush and like how you brighten up your eyes and everything just adds so much dimension to your face. A little beyond like contouring and highlighting because I do it. This is the idea, but I don't like follow specific rules and use like contouring products. But it's just funny how adding those extra products actually make your makeup look so much more natural, and it's just perfect for every day. So it's not going to be anything like crazy with a bunch of shimmer or anything like that because I'm kind of over that anyways. I've never really super been into that. I think it looks a little dated. I like it just to look glowy and pretty. And this is something that you can do every day and add it into your normal routine and not look like you're doing too much. So I do my foundation, my concealer. I've got some under eye concealer. I do my eyes, and I always do this last because I find this depends on what I've done to my eyes, like the intensity of my contour, how much bronzer, how much blush, even the color of blush that I use. So all these products are exactly what I use pretty much every time. I may switch a bit around the blush shade. You know, you use different blush shades here and there, but you know, you get the gist. But these are just my go-to products that are just amazing for this. So like I said, I did my under eye concealer, but I always like to use this, and this is just gonna create a little more dimension and give you a little more brightness. And I just always do a little triangle like that, and it's the it is the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. I take an F86 brush and just literally just dab it. No big deal. And lately I've just been using my Nars setting powder, the translucent crystal. I've already put this on my face, like on my T-zone and areas like that, but you can just take the tiniest bit and just sort of put it right over that. You can even use a smaller brush, but you don't really have to go crazy. Well, then I use my bronzer, and the one that I love so much is the IT Cosmetics CC Ombre Radiance Bronzer. If you're like me and you're a little fair, if you just put it where you're gonna contour, it can sometimes look a little fake. So what I like to do is I just take this angled Chanel brush. You can use any brush that you have, and I start at the areas where I would contour. So under my cheekbones, and then I just sort of use that product and just sort of sweep it around where I would normally kind of bronze, kind of pull it down a little. So you can see the most is right there. That already looks a lot better. And dab it on my forehead, the most right here, sort of connecting where your arch is, your temple. And I just sort of go around just a little bit right there. Just want to create kind of like a little rainbow. And then do the other side. So super, super quick and easy. And that is going to be like the most concentrated color. And then I just sort of pull it down. I don't go crazy and contour under my jaw or anything. I don't really need to. If you had a bit of a double chin, you could do it a little more, but I just sort of do this to blend. Just a little bit on my chin so that that doesn't look totally white. You can kind of dab it around. You can even sometimes, like if I want to look a little more bronzed, I can take a larger brush. This Marc Jacobs bronze brush I really love with my Chanel Soleil Tan, or the, what's it called, the Bronze Universal. And you can really, you know, use that really well with that product. But sometimes I like to just take it and just dab it on my hand first, but just sort of go around, and you can really like bronze your skin with it. And see, you're still retaining like all of the areas that are darker, but it just sort of warms you up a little bit. And I'm using a much lighter hand with this, so any fluffy big brush, and just make sure that everything that you've done is really, really well blended. And then I forgot to mention, but I can put a little on my nose as well. I don't really do really harsh contouring on my nose, but just a little on the side and on the tip. So when people say like the difference between contouring and bronzing and all this, it's really just about using a darker shade to like go into the contours of your face to give you some dimension. You don't have to use a product that is for contouring. You can definitely use a bronzer, but bronzing and contouring are two different things, but I kind of combine them in the way that I do it. And then I take my Hourglass Ambient lighting powder in Ethereal Light and an F35, here it is, by Sigma, just my favorite little brush for highlighting. I'm just gonna kind of go in this area right here. It's not gonna put a sheen or a shimmer on my face, it's just gonna make a glow. And sometimes I do this, I usually like to do this right after bronzer. Sometimes I forget and I do it like absolutely last, but I think it's kind of best to use it right after your bronzer. Put a little on your nose, a little right there, not a big deal. And it just sort of makes everything kind of come together. For my blush lately, I've been obsessed with the Smashbox Flush, and I just use an F10 brush for that. It's just been my favorite blush brush lately. And I kind of go on this outer part because I don't want to cover up the lightness right there. I find sometimes if you go in too far, it can start looking a little shadowy and it can look a little red around your nose, which is never good. So you can see how much like glow that adds. Just looks natural. I think this makes your makeup, even though you've added more products, makes it look much more natural than where we were when we started. If I really want a bit more of a glow, I can take this Lorac Flaunt, and I use it by itself sometimes, but sometimes it's just one of those that's really nice to add on top of like softer colors, just to put right on the apples right there. And then you're gonna sort of blend everything with a big brush. And voila, we are finished. Just a very like natural, you know, gives you some dimension, makes your makeup look so much better. Just always the finishing touch. It goes so hand in hand with foundation. I just always use these steps with foundation because it just makes it look so much better. It's rid of that flat look and just makes, no matter what the finish of your foundation is, it just makes it look natural. I know I've showed this in videos and tutorials that I do before, but I just wanted to do a whole separate video on how I get like the sort of completed like glowy look, and it's just something that I've noticed that I just very rarely change up and that always works. So hope that y'all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.